"You're not even a real man," she said while laughing with her friends, so I quietly let her move out. Now she's divorced, broke, and I'm marrying the woman she told me I'd never deserve. Hey, viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I never thought I'd be the kind of guy who ends up telling this kind of story. I always thought of myself as one of the good ones, the dependable boyfriend, the guy who shows up, keeps promises, brings coffee when you forget breakfast, and rubs your feet when you pretend not to ask. I never cheated, never lied, never raised my voice. I thought that made me a good partner. Apparently, it just made me safe, which to some people is just another word for boring. Kara and I met 7 years ago. We were both working in finance, different firms, same building. She had this ambitious, firecracker energy that made her stand out in every room. She was magnetic, loud, sharp. I liked that about her. She liked that I wasn't threatened by it. We dated for 5 years and were married for 2. I thought we were happy. I thought the hard part was behind us. We'd survived layoffs, COVID, moving in together, her career change, and the weird gray period when she decided she wanted to be a content creator. I supported her through all of it. Even when she quit her job to pursue wellness coaching full-time, I backed her. I picked up the slack. The bills. The planning. The stability. She needed time to build her brand, she said. She was tired of building someone else's dream. I admired her passion, even when it didn't quite make sense. I helped her film videos, took her Instagram photos, stayed quiet when I saw our savings account draining faster than expected. It's just a dip, she said. You have to believe in something before other people do. And I did. I believed in her. But somewhere around the 18-month mark of our marriage, she started changing. Or maybe I just stopped being blind. She became obsessed with attention, online and offline. Every dinner turned into a photo shoot. Every compliment from a stranger was repeated back to me with extra emphasis. She started following these alpha male podcasts and high-value woman influencers who talked about dating like it was a competition, a game of leverage and options. She started using words like provider energy and masculine polarity when she talked about what she wanted in a man. It was strange at first, then insulting. "You just don't understand the new relationship dynamics," she'd say when I pushed back. Being stable isn't enough anymore. Women want passion, strength, drive, not just some nice guy who pays the bills. I didn't argue. I just listened. I thought maybe it was a phase, a social media rabbit hole she'd eventually crawl out of. But it got worse. I started noticing the way she looked at other men in public. Loud, showy types who carried themselves like they owned the room. She'd linger on their stories, laugh at their posts, compare them to me indirectly. I bet someone like him wouldn't need to be reminded 3 times to fix a door hinge. It was always little things. Insults disguised as jokes. Critiques wrapped in flirty sarcasm. I bit my tongue. Then came the dinner party. She wanted me to meet her influencer friends. Said it would be good to network. Said I could learn something from people who actually take risks in life. I remember what I wore, navy button-up, sleeves rolled to the elbows. She told me it was too basic. "You look like you're headed to a PDA meeting," she laughed. When we got there, it was all champagne, ring lights, and conversations that sounded like TED Talks with no actual meaning. Everyone was selling something themselves, mostly. I smiled. I listened. I asked questions. I played along. Then came that moment. Kara was a few drinks in, sitting at the head of the table like she ran the place. I was next to her, quiet but present, just taking it all in. Someone asked how long we'd been married, and I said 2 years last week. Kara snorted. 2 long years, she said, smirking. But hey, he's a good guy. Too nice for his own good sometimes. Definitely not, like, a real man, but dependable. The table chuckled. One woman whispered, "Oof." Kara kept going. "I mean, look at him. He folds laundry, remembers birthdays, never argues. He's like a golden retriever with a paycheck." Everyone laughed again. Except me. I didn't say anything. Just smiled tightly and reached for my drink. Kara saw my face and rolled her eyes. "Oh, relax. I'm kidding. He's just sensitive, guys." No one said anything after that. The conversation moved on, but I didn't. I don't remember the drive home. I don't remember what we talked about, if anything. I just remember lying in bed next to her that night and realizing something had changed, not just in her, but in me. I wasn't angry. I wasn't heartbroken. I was done. Not with the marriage. Not yet. But with the illusion that love and loyalty were enough. She didn't want a partner. She wanted a project. A placeholder. A punchline. And I just let her turn me into one. I woke up before her the next morning. I sat on the edge of the bed for a while, watching the light spill in through the curtains. My phone buzzed with emails. I ignored them. Kara was still asleep, mouth slightly open, face peaceful. You'd never guess she spent the night making a joke out of me. I got up quietly, went downstairs, made coffee. I didn't slam drawers or make any passive-aggressive noise. I just needed a minute. I needed to think about how we'd gotten here and how much longer I was willing to stay. When she finally came down, she was wearing one of my t-shirts and scrolling on her phone. "You're up early," she mumbled. "Didn't sleep much," I said. She didn't ask why. Just walked past me, opened the fridge, and made a face. "Ugh, no almond milk?" I didn't respond. I watched her pour regular milk into her glass like she'd just been asked to drink poison. Then I said, "Can we talk?" She gave me a look, not alarmed, not curious. Just annoyed. "About what?" "Last night." She rolled her eyes. "Oh my God. Seriously?" "Yeah," I said, quietly. "Seriously." She sat down at the table, dramatically. "Okay, let's have it. You're mad because I made one joke in front of people who literally don't care. Grow up." "It wasn't one joke, Kara. It was the way you said it. The way you laughed." "Oh please," she snorted. "You're really going to throw a fit because I called you a golden retriever? You are one. That's not an insult. That's the nicest breed." I just looked at her. She shrugged. "You're sensitive. That's your thing. You overthink everything, take everything personally. I swear, sometimes being married to you feels like babysitting a 35-year-old man-child." That stung. Not because it was true, but because she meant it to hurt. I leaned back in my chair. "Is that how you see me now?" She didn't answer. "You know what bothers me more than what you said?" I asked. "That you felt comfortable saying it in front of a room full of people. Like it wasn't even a big deal." She scoffed. "It wasn't a big deal. But you just love turning everything into some deep emotional event, don't you?" "I just want to be with someone who respects me." "Oh my God," she muttered, standing up. "I can't do this. Every time you get your feelings hurt, we have to sit down and have some big relationship summit like we're in therapy. I'm tired of walking on eggshells because you can't take a joke." "No," I said calmly. "You're tired of pretending to love someone you stopped respecting a long time ago." That stopped her for a second. She stood there in the kitchen, her arms crossed, staring at me like she was trying to decide if it was worth pretending anymore. Then she said it. "I've been thinking about moving out anyway." Just like that. No hesitation. No guilt. "Okay," I said. She blinked. "That's it. If I'm not what you want, I'm not going to fight you to stay." She laughed, like I was the crazy one. "Well, so you do have a spine buried in there somewhere." I stood up and walked past her. I went upstairs, opened our shared closet, and started pulling her stuff to one side, jackets, shoes, her folded sweaters. She followed me, voice rising now. "What are you doing?" "Helping you pack," I said. "You're not even going to talk to me about it?" Just like that. "You just told me you've been thinking of leaving," I said. "What's left to talk about?" Kara stared at me like she didn't recognize me, like she'd been expecting me to cry, to beg, to argue. Instead, I was folding her favorite coat into a suitcase. "You're really just gonna let me go?" I turned to face her. "You made that decision, Kara. I'm just finally listening." She didn't say another word, just walked out of the room and slammed the door behind her. She moved out the next day, took her ring off without a word. Didn't cry, didn't apologize. She had this smug, relieved look on her face like she just wants something. Like she'd escaped. She didn't know it yet, but all she really escaped was the only person who ever would have stood by her when it actually counted. The first night without her was quiet. Too quiet. I didn't play music. Didn't turn on the TV. I just sat in the living room with a drink in my hand, staring at the empty space where her shelf of crystals and motivational books used to be. The place felt lighter. Colder, too. People always say breakups feel like a bomb going off. But for me, it felt more like a power outage, sudden, dark, and eerily silent. Everything still in place, but lifeless. I didn't tell anyone right away. Not my family, not our friends. I needed time to sit with it, to figure out what the hell had actually happened. The strange part was, I wasn't heartbroken. Not in the way I expected. There was no sobbing, no punching walls, no drunk texts. Just this dull ache, like waking up from anesthesia and realizing something was missing. Over the next few weeks, I moved through life on autopilot. I worked, ate, slept, repeat. The only time I felt something real was when I started going to the gym again. That first workout nearly killed me, but the pain in my chest was the first honest feeling I'd had in days. I kept going, 5 days a week. Not to get revenge, not to post a glow up, just to feel real again. Eventually, I told my brother. He wasn't surprised. She always acted like you were something she settled for, he said. I never understood what you saw in her. That stung. Not because he was wrong, but because I'd seen it too. I just ignored it. Turns out, love makes you blind. And loyalty makes you stupid. A month passed before I heard Kara's name again. A mutual friend texted me out of the blue. Hey, didn't want to be the gossip guy, but did you know Kara's dating that crypto dude she used to follow? I didn't respond. But yeah, I wasn't shocked. He was one of the guys she used to gush about during those weird self-help rants. Loud, flashy, 10 years older, all fake watches and high-rise photos. The kind of guy who talks about manifesting millions, but rents his limbo for the weekend. I went on her page, not because I cared, but because I was curious. Her entire vibe had changed. Outfits more revealing. Captions more desperate. She was no longer preaching about alignment or feminine power. Now it was all vague posts about haters and loyalty and knowing your worth. It was obvious what happened. He used her. Or maybe she thought she could use him. Either way, it backfired. I closed the tab. Went back to living. By month 3, I'd picked up piano again, something I'd given up during our relationship because it didn't align with her goals. I also started sleeping better, eating better, laughing more. Not because I was trying to forget Kara, but because I finally had space to remember myself. A woman from my building, Elena, started joining me on morning runs. It wasn't romantic, not at first. Just easy, calm. She asked questions and actually listened. She didn't make everything about her. She wasn't trying to be impressive. She was just kind. We talked for miles about everything and nothing, and not once did I feel small, or dismissed, or like I needed to prove I was man enough to exist next to her. It made me realize something. I had spent years trying to be enough for someone who never knew how to appreciate peace. She only respected chaos, and when I didn't give her that, she looked for it somewhere else. But peace? Real peace? That was what I needed, and I was finally starting to find it. It started with the stories. Not hers, the ones people told about her. A mutual friend ran into me at the grocery store. She hadn't even meant to bring it up. We were just catching up, chatting by the frozen section, when she said, "So, you dodged a bullet, huh?" I raised an eyebrow. Meaning, Kara, her new guy? That crypto dude? He's, wow, total disaster. I didn't bite. I just nodded. She went all in on him. She continued. Moved into his place for like 3 weeks, posted him everywhere. Next thing I hear, she's back at her mom's. No apartment, no income, no nothing. That was the first domino. Then came the social media meltdown. I only heard about it secondhand. A former coworker sent me screenshots. Kara posting vague, sad quotes like never give 100% to someone who gave you 50% and called it love. Next day, a video where she was crying into the camera, talking about betrayal and emotional abuse. Then silence. Her content dried up almost overnight. The motivational reels, the sexy photo shoots, the sponsorships all gone. Eventually, her page went private. I never reached out, never commented, never liked anything. I just let the silence speak for me. Apparently, that silence drove her insane. One night, about 5 months after she walked out of my life, she sent me a voice note. I hadn't blocked her. I didn't need to. She was already irrelevant. But I also didn't expect her to beg. Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. I miss you. I really do. You always made me feel safe. And I know I never said it enough, but I appreciated that. I guess I didn't realize how rare that was. I didn't play it more than once. I didn't respond. I didn't even save it. 2 days later, she tried again. This time via text. I saw you with that girl. Elena? She's cute. Reminds me of me, back before I lost myself. I didn't respond to that either. Then the tone shifted. You really think she's better than me? Don't forget who was there for you when no one else was. Then, wow. So you're really just gonna ghost me like I meant nothing? You were so fake. You pretend to be this perfect guy, but the moment I needed you, You disappeared. I blocked her then. Not out of anger, out of mercy. For me. A week later, her mom emailed me. Yes, emailed me. Like it was 2005. Kara made mistakes, but you two had something special. Don't throw it away just because she's hurting. A real man forgives. That word again. Real man. Funny how it only gets thrown at you when people want something. I didn't respond to that either. What none of them understood, not Kara, not her mom, not anyone, was that I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't trying to get revenge or make a point. I had simply moved on. I was done trying to prove myself to people who didn't even know how to measure worth in the first place. Kara once said I wasn't a real man. She said it while I was paying her rent, driving her to doctor's appointments, editing her videos, and folding her laundry. If that wasn't enough for her, then nothing ever would be. And for once in my life, I didn't care what she thought anymore. It happened at a wedding. Of course it did. Mutual friend. Small venue. Late summer afternoon. One of those half-formal events where people wear sunglasses with suits and pretend they're not sweating through their clothes. I didn't even know Kara would be there until I saw her across the courtyard, standing near the open bar, pretending to laugh at something she clearly didn't find funny. She looked thinner, worn down. Her hair had lost that glossy, camera-ready polish. Her dress was too tight, not in the flattering way, but in the trying too hard to stay relevant kind of way. When her eyes landed on me, she froze. Then she saw Elena. Elena had come with me. We'd been officially dating for a few months, and she had that quiet, effortless grace Kara used to fake with filters and sound bites. She didn't need to post about being high value. She just was. We mingled, talked, danced a little. I could feel Kara watching us the whole time. Eventually, she made her move. I was getting a drink when she appeared at my side like a bad memory. Hey. I looked over. Kara, you look good, she said, scanning me head to toe. Better than you used to. Thanks. Been working out. Among other things. She nodded slowly, biting her lip like she was searching for the right script. But whatever version she'd rehearsed, it didn't land. You're here with her? She finally asked, glancing toward Elena, who was laughing with a group by the string lights. Yep. She doesn't seem like your type. I sipped my drink. That's the point. Kara tilted her head. So she's the rebound? No. You were. That hit her. She blinked fast, lips parting like she might cry or scream. I couldn't tell which. Instead, she forced a laugh. She doesn't challenge you. She seems boring. I looked at her. She respects me. That's the only challenge I needed. There was a long pause. Then, quietly, do you ever think about us? I set my glass down. You taught me what I'll never accept again. That's what I think about. She tried to laugh again, but it cracked. I made a mistake, okay? I got lost. I thought I wanted more, but no one's ever loved me like you did. I nodded. And no one will again. She looked like she'd been slapped. Kara, I said, keeping my voice low and calm. You said I wasn't a real man. And maybe I wasn't, back then. But the man I am now? You don't even deserve to know him. I stepped past her. Wait, she grabbed my arm, her voice breaking now. Please. Just don't do this. Don't walk away like I never mattered. I gently pulled my arm away. You didn't walk away like I mattered. So why should I? She stood there, speechless, staring at the life she threw away like it was a stranger she barely recognized. I walked back to Elena, who gave me a small, knowing smile. She didn't ask what Kara said. She didn't need to. She just took my hand. And for the first time in a long time, I felt real. Not just respected seen. Kara lingered at the bar the rest of the night. Alone. Scrolling through her phone like she was looking for a way out of her own choices. She never found it. I haven't thought about Kara in months. Not in any real way, anyway. Sometimes her name comes up when a mutual friend reminisces, or I'll see an old photo tucked inside a folder I never got around to deleting. But there's no anger anymore. No bitterness. Just silence. It's not the kind of silence that aches. It's the kind that settles. The kind that tells you you've finally left the storm behind. She tried reaching out once more, maybe a month after the wedding. A single line, sent from a new number. I hope you're doing okay. I didn't respond. What would I even say? That I sleep better now? That I laugh more? That I don't tiptoe around conversations or shrink myself to avoid being called boring? That I wake up next to a woman who doesn't roll her eyes when I talk about my day? No. I let her message sit there, unread. Marked as seen. No reply. No emotion. She didn't get closure. Not because I wanted to punish her, but because I owed her nothing. People like Kara always think they can circle back. They think time softens everything. That if they knock softly enough, you'll open the door again. But that door doesn't exist anymore. The house has been torn down, rebuilt, and she's not on the guest list. I've built a life I actually like now. One that doesn't revolve around fixing someone else's emptiness. Elena and I moved in together last month. We split chores without keeping score. We talk without competing. We argue without attacking. And when she compliments me, it's not with a hidden insult curled inside it. Sometimes she'll watch me play piano in the mornings, coffee in her hand, legs tucked under her on the couch, and I'll catch her just smiling. Not because I'm showing off. Not because I'm putting on a performance. Just because she likes seeing me happy. Kara once told me I'd never be a real man. But real men don't need to prove anything to people who don't know what love looks like. Real men stay loyal when it's hard. They stay quiet when it's ugly. And when they're finally done, they don't need to slam doors or burn bridges. They just walk away and never look back. So if you're reading this hoping for revenge or some grand speech that put her in her place, sorry to disappoint you. I never raised my voice. I never insulted her. I never got even. I just left. And she's still standing in the ruins of the life she thought would be better without me. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.